Good evening, everyone. Today's presentation focuses on prosecutorial misconduct, which is one of the most serious ethical concerns in the criminal justice system. Prosecutors are among the most powerful actors because they determine who will be charged, what charges will be filed, how evidence will be used, and what plea offers will be presented. With this level of discretion comes a high ethical responsibility. The purpose of this presentation is to explain what prosecutorial misconduct is, why it occurs, how it impacts justice, and what strategies exist to prevent it. I will also highlight several real-life cases that demonstrate the consequences of unethical prosecutorial behavior. This is one of Martin Luther King Jr. sayings: injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. On the agenda, we'll be going through introduction to prosecutorial ethics, definition of prosecutorial misconduct, ethical principles involved, real-world examples, causes of misconduct, consequences of misconduct, preventing and addressing misconduct, professionalism, and accountability. Introduction to prosecutorial ethics. To understand why misconduct is so harmful, it is important to understand the ethical role of a prosecutor. Unlike other attorneys, a prosecutor's duty is not to win cases. The primary obligation is to seek justice. This means prosecutors must act fairly, disclose evidence, avoid improper influence, and respect constitutional rights. Ethics matter because the decisions prosecutors make directly affect victims, defendants, families, and the public. When a prosecutor behaves unethically, the result is not just a violation of rules, it damages the credibility of the entire justice system. In short, prosecution must be grounded in fairness, integrity, and professionalism. Definition of prosecutorial misconduct. Prosecutorial misconduct includes any action by a prosecutor that violates ethical rules, court procedures, or constitutional protections. Misconduct may be intentional or it may result from negligence, but both forms threatens the fairness of a trial. One of the most common forms of misconduct is withholding exculpatory evidence. This violates the Supreme Court's ruling in Brady versus Maryland, which requires prosecutors to disclose all evidence favorable to the defense. Other examples include presenting false or misleading testimony, making inappropriate statements to the jury, discriminating during jury selection, or engaging in selective prosecution. Even though these rules are well established, misconduct continues to occur and often goes unpunished. Understanding what qualifies as misconduct helps illustrate why reform is necessary. Ethical principles involved. The ethical framework guiding prosecutors is outlined in the American Bar Association Model Rules of Professional Conduct. These rules emphasize truthfulness, fairness, objectivity, and respect for the law. The principle of justice requires prosecutors to prioritize the truth over winning. Integrity requires honesty in evaluating evidence and interacting with the court. Accountability requires prosecutors to follow all ethical standards, even when doing so may be difficult. Upholding these values is essential because prosecutors serve not only their office but the entire community. Real world examples. A well-known example of prosecutorial misconduct is the Duke Lacrosse case in 2006. The prosecutor, Mike Nafong, withheld DNA evidence that proved the accused student's innocence. He was ultimately disbarred, and the case revealed how personal bias and public pressure can lead to unethical decisions. Another case is the Michael Morton case in Texas. Morton was wrongfully convicted of murdering his wife and spent 25 years in prison. The prosecutor in that case withheld statements pointing to another suspect. Morton's exoneration led to major reforms, including the Michael Morton Act, which strengthened discovery laws in Texas. The Central Park 5 case also demonstrates misconduct. Investigators relied on coerced confessions, while prosecutors failed to disclose evidence that contradicted their theory. These real-world examples show the catastrophic consequences of unethical prosecutorial actions. Causes of misconduct. There are several reasons why prosecutorial misconduct occurs. A major factor is pressure to win. Prosecutors are often evaluated based on conviction rates, which can create a competitive environment. Another issue is lack of oversight. Prosecutors often operate with significant discretion and limited supervision, which increases the opportunity for errors or international violations. Bias, whether implicit or explicit, can also affect decisions about charges, evidence, and how cases are argued. Finally, institutional culture plays a major role. In offices where winning is valued more than fairness, misconduct is more likely to occur. Without strong leadership and ethical reinforcement, proper behavior can become normalized. Consequences of misconduct. The consequences of prosecutorial misconduct are severe. Wrongful convictions are the most devastating result. Innocent individuals can lose years or even decades of their lives because of withheld evidence or improper conduct. Misconduct also undermines public trust. When the community believes prosecutors are not held accountable, confidence in the justice system erodes. There are also financial costs. Wrongful convictions lead to expensive appeals, retrials, and state compensation payments. These costs fall on taxpayers. Although prosecutors may face penalties such as suspension, termination, or disbarment, such consequences are rare. The lack of accountability highlights the need for stronger oversight and reforms. To reduce misconduct, several strategies can be implemented. First, enhanced ethical training helps prosecutors understand their responsibilities regarding evidence, disclosure, witness handling, and constitutional protections. Professionalism and accountability. Professionalism is Professionalism in prosecution requires fairness, objectivity, and respect for constitutional rights. Ethical prosecutors understand, and their role goes beyond securing convictions. They must ensure the justice system functions properly. Accountability mechanisms help reinforce professionalism. When prosecutors know their decision will be reviewed, they are more likely to act in accordance with ethical standards. Professionalism also involves humility and honesty. A prosecutor must be willing to acknowledge mistakes, evaluate cases objectively, and avoid allowing external pressure to influence legal decisions. This commitment to ethical conduct strengthens public confidence in the justice system. In conclusion, prosecutorial misconduct poses a significant threat to fairness and justice in the criminal legal system. It can lead to wrongful convictions, undermine public trust, and cause substantial financial and emotional harm. However, through stronger oversight, improved training, open file discovery policies, and accountability measures, misconduct can be reduced. The justice system depends on the ethical conduct of prosecutors by upholding integrity, transparency, and respect for the law. Prosecutors help maintain a fair and trustworthy legal process. Have a good evening. These are the references. American Bar Association, Brady versus Maryland, Gershom, the Innocent Project, and the Smith. Have a good evening.